David, to other news now. One of Australia's largest childcare providers has outright banned class photos, with Good Start Early Learning saying the risk of images being manipulated is just too high and beyond their control. It comes after the eSafety Commissioner warned all Australian schools to reconsider the need to share pictures and videos of students online, where they can be run through artificial intelligence to generate deepfake and often sexualised content. Let's bring in Employment Minister Amanda Rishworth and National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie. Good morning to both of you. Amanda, schools share photos of kids all the time. They have for many, many years now, but now experts are saying that is just too risky. So should policies be reviewed so images of children are never posted online?
Well, of course, it is really, really concerning to hear things like teachers and students being nudified apps being used and to be exploited online. So it is incredibly concerning, and obviously the government's taking action to ban such apps, and so that's really important. Obviously, the eSafety Commissioner is providing advice, and people have to have a look very carefully at that advice. But ultimately, the responsibility needs to be on these companies, and that's what the duty of care is about, making sure that these tech companies are taking action to not harm people online. And so there needs to be a big step up in responsibility of these technology companies to do the right thing.
Do you think we should really leave it to the tech companies? I don't know how much luck we're having with them doing anything at the moment, though.
Well, we will be legislating a duty of care, and so there will be fines if they don't comply. But ultimately, the responsibility, we need to get them to do their job. Placing this responsibility on parents and schools is a very difficult one, and obviously schools and childcare centres will take steps, and the eSafety Commissioner is providing really important advice, and it really shows that very I think challenging times we're in when it comes to abuse online, but the government is taking action. But the duty of care as a priority for the government will be really important in holding these tech companies to account if they don't do the right thing.
OK, Bridget, what do we do here? You've got Good Start Early Learning. They've got lots of childcare centres. They are taking a lead here and basically banning all photos. Where does that leave other childcare centres, all schools, all old photos of students that are online?
Exactly right, Nat, and I think this is sort of the challenge of negotiating this new online and now AI environment, not just for tech companies or governments, but I would argue for parents.
Yes.
And you're seeing increasingly young parents refusing to share their child's facial images online on their social media accounts, etc. They blur them out or put an emoji over the top to sort of protect their own child's identity until the child is old enough to have their own sort of consent to sharing their images online. So, yes, that's an issue for businesses, but ultimately identity theft, whether it's going to be used for sexual exploitation material or indeed financial and other areas that identity theft can be used on, how your image is used online is something that parents and particularly older students need to be very careful, because once you are online, it's there forever.
Yep.
And I think we now have a generation of young people and parents who are much more conscious of the negative impacts of that than maybe 10 years ago.
Exactly. Moving on.